What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing okay, and I hope you guys enjoyed your Easter weekend this past weekend. I know it's kind of hard to really go out to places and enjoy it with this whole shelter in place that's in order in most of these states, but I hope you guys made the best of it, and I hope you guys are staying safe. Secondly, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who subscribed to the channel. I'm at 176 subs right now, which is not much, but to me it's a lot. So yeah, let's try to get to 200. Thank you guys for subbing, watching, and supporting the channel. I'm gonna try my best to give you guys some more content, which brings me to this video. Today I'm gonna talk about 3 issues that I'm having with my car after the heads and cam were installed and it being tuned and whatnot. Now, this is in no way, shape, or form, there's nothing wrong mechanically with the car. The car is running 100% perfect. But there are a couple things here and there that have become an issue. So hang in there. We're going to go ahead and get into detail. But first, let's go ahead and give you guys a nice cold start. All right, guys, so problem number 1 will be the starter. I read about it on the forums, online and whatnot. You know, after you install headers, the starter will get heat soaked and it'll give you a weak crank, or sometimes it won't even crank at all. Well, that in fact is true. After installing the headers, you know, I'll drive it to work or I'll drive it to the store or whatever, and when I get back into the car to turn it on, it will crank really slow. Sometimes it wouldn't even crank whatsoever. So I would have to open up the hood. I kind of figured it was that, so I would open up the hood and let it cool down a bit for a couple minutes. The first time it happened to me, I did have some bottles of water, and what I did, they were still kind of cold, is I pretty much poured it down through here to hit the starter, and that kind of cooled the starter off a lot faster and got in the car right away. It turned on. So yeah, problem number 1 is the starter gets heat soaked with the headers. Now, I did try to remedy that with header wrap, and I did put like a gold reflector tape on the starter itself. I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but you can see the gold through there through the header. The header wrap is wrapped in the area where the starter's at. You can probably see it a lot better down here. As you guys see, I did try to combat that, but unfortunately that didn't work. It helped a little bit, but it still gives me a weak crank. I think the next step I need to do is either buy a heat shield, but unfortunately for that to install the heat shield or a starter wrap, I need to remove the starter, which in order to get to the starter, I believe I need to unbolt the exhaust manifold, the header. So that's quite a bit of a job for me. So I mean, it's doable, I can do it. I just really don't feel like doing it, to be honest. So yeah, that's the first problem I'm having after the heads and cam install. Not a big issue, but yeah, it's kind of an inconvenience every once in a while. So problem number 2 will be my clutch pedal sticking to the floor. Come on, open the door. Where's my key? Oh, here it is. So yeah, after I got the heads and cam installed, you know, I decided to get on it a few times. So me messing around with it, doing a couple pulls, my clutch pedal got stuck to the floor. I had to pick it up with my foot, and once I picked it up with my foot, I was able to start pumping it, and you know, it came right back to the top. What I figured was that the clutch fluid was pretty burnt up, and upon inspection I did realize that the clutch fluid was pretty dark. I actually did the Ranger method, and this is what I got out of it. So as you guys can see, that was pretty dirty. I figured that was the issue. So I did the Ranger method, like I said, got it all flushed out, and it seemed to be doing a little bit better. Actually the clutch pedal felt a lot better after that. But after doing another pull or two, you know, I ran into the same issue. The clutch pedal was getting stuck to the floor. Some guys online were telling me that there's a special coverage for the master cylinder, that the dealership will change it out and put in a new master cylinder, and they'll put in a new top here that says .4. I believe the previous oil was .3. Anyways, I took it to my local Chevy dealer, told him my issue, and sure enough, my car was still able to get that job done free of charge. So they did address the master cylinder already for me. They changed it out, and the new fluid's been put in it, and I've done a few pulls already, and lucky for me, the clutch pedal hasn't got stuck to the floor. So hopefully that fixes it for now. Maybe I'll upgrade to a more performance oriented master cylinder, or when it's time for a clutch, I'll change out the master cylinder, the slave cylinder, and everything all together. So that is problem number 2, and yeah, it's been addressed. Haven't had an issue just yet, and it was done for free. Okay, problem number 3 that I'm having is traction. The stock tires, they are Eagle F1 supercar. They're run flats. I mean, they're kind of in decent shape. They don't have too much tread, but they're not that bad. But these things are hard as concrete, man. It's insane that on a 60 roll second gear punch, I mean, she gets tail happy. So that is problem number 3 that I'm having, is traction. First gear, second gear, there's no sense in really gunning it. But yeah, I need to figure out something. I'm thinking maybe some drag radials, or just plain out buy some welds or some sort of a 17-inch drag wheel back here with a Slick or a Hoosier or a Mickey Thompson, something like that to help me with traction. I had welds on my 2018 SS 1LE, and they were an awesome wheel, very light. I might do the same for this, at least the rear for now, some welds or something, but y'all have to stay tuned. I do got something in the works, you know, so y'all have to stay tuned and find out what route I went. But yeah, that's pretty much the 3 problems I'm having with the car. Problem number 1 is the starter getting heat soaked. Problem number 2 was the master cylinder. The pedal kept getting stuck to the floor. And problem number 3 was, of course, my traction issues. Nothing mechanically wrong with the car whatsoever. Everything is in tip-top shape. But yeah, those are the 3 small issues that I'm having. Luckily for me, like I said, I got the master cylinder addressed free of charge at my Chevy dealer. The starter, like I said, I tried to remedy that with header wrap and some gold reflector tape, and it worked, but not so good. And as far as my traction issues, well, like I said, I got something in the works, so you guys have to hang in there. But yeah, pretty much that sums up the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys on the next one.